Good afternoon.
Welcome to the Must Love Yarn podcast. Hopefully our microphone is still working.
I know. So Ange thinks she finally may have gotten it figured out. She filmed an entire other work thing, and it worked.
And it worked, using this method, and every time, now I've jinxed it. Anyway, we just did a quick outtake to double check, because we'd love to be able to film this with a microphone, because we know the sound quality is so much better with an actual microphone as opposed to the iPad microphone, which is,
It's doable, but...
So hopefully this is working. If it's not, it's going to be a sad podcast for all of you tomorrow. Because I don't have time to refilm.
Well, not only be Silent Ange, but it'll be Silent Ange and Silent Kelly.
I would have some fun with it. So anyway, so welcome. This is a knitting, spinning, yarn, fiber-related podcast. We are coming to you from Shelburne, Vermont, at our yarn store, Must Love Yarn. And you can find the store out on all forms of social media: Instagram, Ravelry, Facebook, World Wide Web, as Must Love Yarn.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. And please follow the store.
And who are you?
Oh, I'm Angela.
And I'm Kelly.
And you can find me out on social media. Today looking like a drowned rat.
No.
Yes. Instagram.
Not currently.
Not currently, no, because I've dried out my car ride back. Instagram and Ravelry as Junior Bird Kid.
And you can find me on Instagram as Kelly O Spins, and you can find me on Ravelry as Kelly Spins.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. So we'd like to start our podcast with our picks of the week.
We do.
And
we've got good ones for you again.
We do. Really good ones. And so the way that works, if you're new to us, is we'll give you a coupon code in between the two picks. And with that coupon code, for 2 weeks after the podcast airs, you can get 10% off the items that we're going to show you. You can buy stuff in the online store. My brain's just like, I might have had too much coffee. I had an iced coffee on the way back when I stopped to get the goodies.
Oh.
Yeah, along with lunch. But you can get 10% off online or in-store. If you're coming into the store, please just remind whoever's working that it's a pick of the week, because we try to keep an updated list, but...
I'm not so good about that lately.
Well, and I literally, if I'm working here, I can't remember what I picked, 2 days prior. So, yeah.
I know, somebody's like, this is a pick of the week, that last week or whatever week, and I'm like,
okay.
Probably.
Okay, sure.
Like, I can go back and look in show notes. Hang on.
Yeah. Got a lot going on, and there's only so much room up here for stuff.
I know.
And that's, unfortunately, not a priority in my brain once we podcast. If you need some help with a tutorial on where the coupon code goes for the online store, we did do a quick one in episode 73. So if you go back to 73, right at the beginning is a little tutorial with some pictures that shows where that code goes. And so if you don't see the code, you don't see the discount in the cart, it hasn't gone in where it's supposed to be.
Right. And you won't get the discount.
You won't get the discount. We don't do refunds after the fact for that.
Right. So call us or email us if you have any questions, and get in touch with us some way.
Yeah, before you put your order through.
Yeah.
So, all right. So do you want me to go? Do you want to go? What do you...
I don't care.
Okay.
I can, or...
I'll go.
You're gonna go?
I'm
knitting.
I'm in a good spot. So lots of you may have seen, particularly if you're on social media, over the weekend, Andrea Mowry released a new pattern, and I was very remiss. I did not print out a copy of the pattern, but it's called the Throwback.
It's cute.
It's a cardigan. It's gorgeous. It's an open cardigan, so there's no buttons on it at all, but it is one that will close. So those leather closures that we have in the store.
We got in the jewel closures where they use a Chicago screw, and you push it actually in between stitches, so you're not creating any damage really. It might stretch it out a little bit, but you push it through, and then
that would be amazing on that
it's
sweater.
a really nice closure. And we've got ones that will either span it or just you can use one and just use it as a button type closure.
So that's totally an option for that sweater because it doesn't actually have buttons on it, but it's a color work yoke cardigan. It's a worsted weight cardigan, and she designed it as her Rhinebeck, as a Rhinebeck sweater.
It's really pretty. It's got kind of like a zigzag motif across.
Yep. And it's a 4-color sweater, so there's 1 main color and then 3 counter colors.
Hers is kind of this color.
Yeah, it's like a rust color.
It's really
beautiful.
Pretty. Yeah.
And the cool thing is that the color work part, they called for, because I was looking through the pattern, because I literally am trying to resist casting on right now, and I'm probably gonna fail miserably. It appears that you could use 1 50-gram skein for the color work part of each color.
Yep.
That's
not bad then.
No, so but double check the pattern before you buy, because like literally I probably was just looking at my size, and there may be other information in there. So my pick this week is a yarn that you could 100% use for the sweater. It would be gorgeous for this sweater.
We've used this yarn for a pick of the week probably a couple times because we love
it
this yarn
a lot. So my pick of the week is our Woolstock.
Yeah.
So one other reason, and I did not.
So this is Blue Sky Fibers.
Blue Sky Fibers.
Yep.
I did not bring over all of our colors. I kind of cherry picked. I got most of them, but we have even more.
Yep.
So one of the reasons why this yarn would be so great for this sweater is we have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 neutral,
and I think there's a couple
colors
others too. Not that we stock, but we probably are going to be getting more in before too long.
So 5 neutral colors. These are 150 gram skeins, right? So your yardage on this is
371 yards, I think.
Fantastic, and it's not. Where is it?
It's on this side though.
Oh, there it is.
370.
370 yards per skein. So 150 gram skein, and they retail $21.99. I think is the retail.
Right around $22. Yeah.
50 on the 150 yard skein. So to get the body's quantity, it's pretty economical.
Yeah.
These guys here, these colored ones, are 50 gram skeins. They retail, I want $7.80.
They're right around $8. Yeah.
Roughly $8. And so you're not buying a whole skein. You're not going to use have wasted yarn or use part of it, and then you had to pay a whole 150 gram skein. So you could pick and choose. We have a ton of colors. We have a rainbow wall of colors, and this is a perfect yarn for this sweater.
It's a great yarn to work with too.
Yeah, it's a Highland wool. It's pretty soft, and it softens up even more when it gets washed.
And you said it was knit on an 8, right?
Knit on 8.
So that's going to make it even, just because it's knit at a looser gauge.
Yep. So the recommended needle for this is 6 to an 11, US 11.
Yeah,
so it's pretty big range. So an 8 is kind of right in the middle.
Yeah. And I've done color work with this before, and
beautiful.
It's got great color separation. Because it's that 100% wool, so it's kind of sticky, and it really wants to.
And so this one here is not actually a black. It might on their replay.
It's a gorgeous deep blue.
It's a deep blue. Oh, that price tag says $22.50.
Well, they recently changed their prices.
Midnight Sea is what this one's called. You could pair this with greens and blues and even blacks and grays, and it would be lovely. And the smaller ones do say $7.80.
Yeah.
So great option for that particular sweater. Good for other color work sweaters as well. But
it's great for hats and mittens.
Yeah.
And everything.
But that's the new hot right now sweater.
It's
so
beautiful.
if you've been wanting to make it and we're looking for an option, we got it for you.
Yeah, and you can definitely use the 50 gram skeins for the body of the sweater too. So if you wanted to do a really bright orange like Andrea did, or one of the other colors, they're all just a little bit heathered, so they have that really nice soft look to them, but they're just beautiful.
You just have to buy more of them.
Exactly.
I think price point, it comes out roughly the same.
It is. I think it's very close to being the same. So
so that's my pick of the week, the Woolstock, the 150 and 50 gram skeins.
Just more ends to weave in with the 50 gram
skeins. The yarn I have in my stash that I would that I'm going to knit it out of are 50 gram skeins. So
the sweater I'm knitting now are 50 gram skeins. So
oh well. Though I am not opposed to spit splicing.
No?
Because I can
You
with
can
that.
with that, yeah.
Totally can.
What do you want to do for a coat this week?
Well, that's a good question.
I've been so good at the last couple of weeks, just like coming up with something.
I know.
I wasn't on it today.
Well, the ones that are popping in my head are like really long.
I know, right?
So like,
Yeah.
let's just do weekly pick hedgehog.
Okay.
And so that will give you a little clue as perhaps what the other pick is.
Maybe.
So, weekly pick hedgehog.
Weekly pick hedgehog. All right, now for my pick. Yeah. As you may have guessed, it has something to do with hedgehogs, but not the real little, critter kind.
I know, which are super cute.
Mine has to do with hedgehog fibers.
Woo.
Why, yes, my pick this week is hedgehog fibers.
Oh my gosh, you guys. 10% off hedgehog fibers.
10%
That's
off
amazing.
hedgehog fibers. So any of the colors that we've got in stock, some of them are sold out. So if you go through the little drop down where it says pick your color, if you pick one and it's out of stock, unfortunately it's out of stock because it would take weeks and weeks and weeks for us to get it back in. But we do want to get another order in. So if if we can move out some of the stuff that we've got now, which also gives you a little savings, then we can get another order in and
Awesome.
And replenish with some different colorways. So these are the DK colors that we still have in stock here at the store.
This is gorgeous.
I
This
know,
red,
isn't that red
reddy,
really
black.
beautiful?
Yeah.
Oh, and this the deep
purple
purples. I know. I love them all. And this green is, they're all gorgeous. So these are what we've got left for DK colors in stock, and they'd be great as a sweater, accessories. And her yarn is so soft. It's really, really lovely. So DK colors. Oh, and let me give you the info. They're $28, 115 grams, 200 meters, which is about 220 yards. Right? Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about right. And sock weight, we've got quite a few colors left.
Woo!
Those are all the colors we've got left in the sock. Whoops.
Whoops.
I'm
That
throwing
one
on the floor.
That one wants to run away.
So some fun speckles, some bright, some dark, a little bit of everything.
The Monarch wanted to fly away.
Monarch
This one's called Monarch.
Fly away. So this is the hedgehog fiber sock base, and they're $30 a skein. They are 100 grams, 400 meters, which is about 440 yards. You add about 10% to meters, and that's what your yardage is. And that's a quick and dirty way of doing it anyway. So 10% off with weekly pick hedgehog. You
Nice.
can either the hedgehog fibers, any of the yarns we've got in stock, or the wool stock, any of those colors that we've got in stock.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And we've linked to both of those in show notes.
Yep. So you can find those right in show notes and get some nice yarns. And there's a skein of this left, which, look, see? That's what I used.
There you go. If you want to be like Kelly. Everybody wants to be like Kelly.
No. So that's my pick, and the reason I chose it is because I bought some last night because there was one of the colors, and I kept looking at it, and I loved it, and I couldn't believe that we had as many skeins of it in stock as we did, and I'm like, well, that's enough for it's a sweater's quantity of yarn, and I waited because we've had the hedgehog for quite a while now, and I was like, well, I'll let the customers buy it first, and I figured it would go, and it sat, and I was like, okay.
Fair game.
Fair game now.
It's mine.
So
It's mine now.
So yeah, I'll talk about that in upcoming projects. My hair's doing weird things today.
Mine is too. It's only because I got drenched, soaked.
I'll just smush my bangs down.
If we're a little loopy, it's because we just got done eating some cake.
Super high-powered,
desserts,
sugary.
Because we were celebrating Kelly's birthday, so.
My anniversary's today.
And apparently her anniversary too. So all kinds of things
You guys
that
don't care about that.
didn't even know about. And so you know how we celebrate here with
Cake
donuts,
or donuts,
cake, other desserts.
pastries.
These were kind of pastry fancy desserts from.
There's an amazing bakery down in Brandon.
And I happened to be down in that neck of the woods and thought, I don't know anybody who would like some of these things. So I stopped and got some.
Right.
Because I couldn't help myself. And got an iced coffee too. So if I'm a little like, that's probably why.
Yeah.
Stop drinking so much coffee. Do you have a finished object?
I do.
That's also something that you are currently wearing.
I am.
It's awesome.
So this is my, well, I call this version my Autumnlee because the real sweater's name is Winterly by Suvi Somali. It's from the first Lina magazine, Lina #1, and it was a really, really fun knit. So this is Hedgehog Fibers yarn here, the sock yarn, the one I just showed you, and the main body color is from the Yarn Baby.
Sorry. Just laughing because I'm picturing the rumble that's going to happen in the CC Yarn booth.
I know.
Yarn Babies.
For the Yarn Babies, yeah. So I got this at Rhinebeck, this colorway last year at Rhinebeck, and it's from CC's Wool Barn, something like that. And she's based actually in the Hudson Valley area of New York. So it was a giant skein of
don't think
yarn.
I haven't been scoping out her website.
Of course you have. She wants to beat me to it.
She's going to have she's got lots of other stuff. Worsted and DK.
She has a nice booth. So I had plenty of yarn.
I'm not competitive at all.
I'm actually not,
And
so, you know.
Totally interrupting Kelly. Just don't mind me. I'm going to get kicked off the podcast.
So I finally got it done. I got it blocked last night. I took some pictures this morning, but I haven't had a chance to look through them and edit them and that kind of thing yet.
So what did you do to get it to dry overnight? Because it's so humid.
I know,
can't get anything
it's really
to dry.
funny. So I always, if I know it's going to be really hot, like it was yesterday. Yesterday it was 90 and 90 plus with a heat index close to 100.
It was dumb.
Because it was really humid. But I have, we've got insulated curtains in my house, and I don't have, the only air conditioner I have is the one in my bedroom, and I don't leave that running when we're not there unless my dogs are at home, and then I put them in the bedroom with the air conditioner. And then, so as soon as the sun starts coming up, I go around, close all the windows, close all the drapes. So it's really dark in my house, but it stays much cooler. Cool. And that morning, it was really cool.
That's true.
It was humid, but it was really, really cool.
Yeah.
So the house started cooler, which was nice. But I put this in my back bedroom. And it was actually, I walked in there the other day, and it was really kind of dry back there because it faces south and west, so it stays warmer, especially if the door is closed.
Yeah.
Which I do close it so that animals don't go in there and jump on my stuff, and it just if we have guests that are a little bit more sensitive to animals and stuff.
It's kind of a pet-free zone.
Exactly.
We have a room like that.
So it dried really, really well. I do have one of the spin dryers. So after I soak something, I throw it in the spin dryer, and that spins a lot of the water out. So it's damp, but not nearly.
I have to rely on the roll it up in a towel and step on it spin dry method.
Yeah.
Which also works very well.
That does work really well. My washing machine, I actually can just set to spin too. It's a front loader.
Yeah. I think I probably can in mine too,
but I have my mom got me one of the little spin dryers, which is great for when you hand wash anything because you can just toss stuff in there and it spins it out.
That's awesome.
Really, really well. Yeah. So I use that, and then it's still damp enough where you can do a really nice wet block on it, which was nice because this has the lace panels on the front. I don't know if you can kind of see it in the screen. So yeah, it's got the lace panels. So I really wanted to block it out, and it blocked beautifully. And the skein itself, I only found one knot in it, and it was while I was working on my last sleeve. And there was one mill splice, so when one of the plies of yarn breaks, they'll kind of splice it back together. And that one was really chunky, so I did pull that so that it wasn't going to be knit in, because it would have gotten kind of fuzzy and weird. So there's only 2 places where I had to worry about ends of any kind in this color.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
one advantage of a yarn baby.
Yeah, it was really, really nice. And the sleeves went pretty quickly because I used a 12-inch circular, so they went really quickly. We've got those in highest, but we just got the Zing needles in, and almost they're selling out. Yeah, they're selling out quickly. So if there is a size you want and we don't have it, I am going to be reordering and if you are interested. So
that's good, because I thought that by the time I got here today, I was going to be ready to knit me some sleeves, and that I should pick up a Zing fixed circular, but apparently my mental thoughts of how much I can knit and reality are not the same. So yeah. And I did have some knitting time this weekend. It was a 3-day weekend here in the US this last weekend. So
sort of for some people.
Yeah. I took it as a 3-day weekend. I don't get too many of them. You don't either. You don't even hardly get 2-day weekends.
I don't get 2-day weekends.
No. That might be changing soon.
Yeah.
So I've been knitting on swag still. I think I need to cast on another project just so I can show the podcast something besides miles and miles of a 2XL body and fingering weight, which is like, I can't even thank you. I can't remember where I was when we podcast, and I think I moved. Did I move my? Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I moved my guy.
Yeah, I remember that you were going.
I moved my blackberry eclair donut. So I was there, and I've knit to, what is that, like 4 inches? 5 inches?
Mm-hmm.
So I've knit 4 or 5 inches since I saw you last. It actually kind of looks like a sweater now.
I know, it's so funny because I was knitting on my winterly sweater for so long. I was like, people are going to go get so sick of this. I better hurry up and get it done.
So unless I would like the crop top version of the sweater, which nobody wants to see that, maybe some of you do. Because I think I have to knit like 14 inches unless I lengthen it, and I'm at like, I don't know. I'm really bad at guessing. 6-ish? Maybe?
Yeah, probably
6-ish.
about 6.
So I've done 3 repeats. So if I'm at 6 inches with 3 repeats, I probably have about another 4 or so to go. Maybe 3 or 4. Yep. And then ribbing. And then sleeves. So, yeah. I don't know. I've been distracted lately with wanting to knit new things.
I've been so good.
Which happens.
I haven't been good about the going back to the projects that I had going before these, but lately I've been like, I've been into the sweater knitting.
Yeah, that's...
Like I knit this one that I'm wearing. It took me right around a month to do that because I cast it on right at the end of July, early August. And then I just started a new one, so.
Yep. Well, you have almost 300 stitches on the needle. It takes a long time.
Yep.
So, stay tuned.
Yep.
So I've been working on this one.
Yep. Cool. I cast on and I am working on Larch, which is from Pam Allen's book Plain and Simple, which uses all of the Quince & Co. owl for her projects. And I think I showed you my swatch last time. Actually, I was working on the new swatch because I knit it, my first swatch, on the size needles that it recommended in the pattern, and then I should have realized from the beginning I was never going to get that gauge they called for. So I swatched again on 10s, and I got gauge spot on, like row gauge and stitch gauge. So I have started, and I got all the ribbing done, and I'm partway up on the body of the sweater. I have 2 pocketses. So you work these are the pocket linings. So you work those. I was like, I should have just done my swatch. I should have read ahead and saw the size of the pocket. And I'm like, oh well.
Oh wow.
It's fine. I got plenty of yarn, and this yarn it looks a little wonky knit on 10s until you block it, and after I blocked that swatch, it made a beautiful fabric. It's light and airy, which is good because this is an oversized sweater, and it's kind of tunicky, and it's got a big cowl neck on it. So it's going to be really nice that it's knit as such kind of an open gauge, loose gauge, so you can see there. It's so soft. The owl is a wool and alpaca blend from Quince & Co.
Nice.
And it's going to be a really, really wearable, like throw on kind of and go piece.
Nice.
So yeah, I am really enjoying it, and it's going to be probably fairly non-taxing knit because it's a lot of stuff in it. And the pieces are big. I think because of the size that I'm making, it's going to be around 10 inches of positive ease, which is not as much as the one they showed in the book. That one had, the model that was wearing it had 17 inches of positive ease.
That's a lot.
Which I did definitely want it to fit loose, but I didn't want it to be quite that loose.
Yep.
So I think 10 inches is going to be fine. And if you go to the project page that people have done the project on, there's a number of people that did them with even less positive ease than that, and they're really cute that way too. So, and she writes right on the pattern, you can kind of choose if you want it to be a closer fitting sweater, if you want it to be, as baggy and loose as the one that they did. You can kind of choose how you want to do it.
Nice.
So, but yeah, knitting this on size 10s is going to be a quick project, especially since this one I knit on 5s, which isn't bad for a fingering weight, knitting it on 5s. But yeah, the worsted on a 10 is going to fly.
I figure even a worsted on the 8s.
At this point, yeah.
At this point, I will take anything.
Yeah.
So I have one other project that I've been working on. So I have multiple projects for different places, because this one isn't very portable. I mean, you can kind of take it, but it's not like I can be walking around knitting. So socks are really good for that, or hats are really good for that if it's a stockinette hat, because it's easier to just, I can have it in my bag and I can pull it out. So these are the tube socks that I'm making with no heel, and I needed to measure little Missy's foot last night. So we had like a foot measuring party. Her foot, as accurate as I could get on a toddler who literally still would not stop moving.
You could trace it and turn it into a game, maybe.
Maybe. I got 5.5 inches as a foot, and I figure it's close enough because it doesn't need to be exact because it's not going to have a heel.
Right.
So 5.5 inches, and then her older brother needed to have his foot measured, and his foot's like 8.5 inches. My foot's only like 9 inches.
I know, right? Oh my gosh.
Holy smokes. So I'm trying to decide how, and then everybody started playing with a tape measure, so it was, it was super fun. Trying to decide how long I want to make the tube. I'm at like 8 inches now. I think I'm going to go to either 9 or probably 9 inches and then do the toe, because the toe will give me another like half inch or so. And that's because, her legs aren't really they're not that long.
Yeah.
But I have to account for the fact that some of this tube's going to get taken up with the heel,
the bend.
And the bend. So, if I have 5.5 inches for just the foot, then I only have this much extra right now. So I might actually knit it to like 10 inches, which would be here.
Yeah.
So anyway, stay tuned. And something weird is happening with this yarn, this center pole yarn. It keeps getting twisted on itself, so it's become very fiddly in terms of getting the yarn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What? I don't know what's happening here. It's like a yarn barf all over itself.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So I kind of have been fighting with the yarn while knitting this project, which has made it go a little bit slower. But it's, once I get one done, then I will knit a second one. So it's a fun self-striping. This is Yorkshire Spinners. Some leftover yarn I had from a project that I knit last year. Last year? Yeah, a little baby Milo.
Yep.
And it is in my Darn Yarn and Bacon Peekaboo bag. And we've shown her bags on here before. She did a Seasons of Vermont box for us, and we have some of her bags in the shop.
We do. They're not online, but if
So.
you come and shop with us, you can get some of her wool wedge bags. They're really beautiful.
Yeah, I like them a lot. She does a great job.
She really does. She really does.
So, those are literally like the two things I've been working on.
Yeah, I mean, I finished this sweater and then I started this sweater, and that's pretty much what I've been working on. But I did, so this is going to kind of go in acquisitions and upcoming projects, and also is tied to the pick of the week. So this is the yarn that I had my eye on and was sitting here and was sitting here and sitting here. And I love knitting this with this yarn. This is the same yarn, it's just a different color so much that I was just like, well, next time I start my next fingering weight sweater, this is the one I will use.
Nice.
So I was like, oh, I wonder what I would use. Because then I was like, well, it's lighter colored. I don't wear a lot of lighter colors, but, I don't know. I'll find something. And so I was just poking around. And
We should make buttons for ourselves. I'll find something.
And, but I was like, then I was talking myself out of it. I'm like, maybe I won't, but then maybe I will. But I ended up ultimately getting the yarn. But I found this pattern that I really, really like. It's an Anka-Strict pattern, and it's desert. And I really like it. I love V-necks anyway, and then I love that it has some texture on it, using some cables.
That'll be really cool with that yarn.
Yeah, I think so, because it's got a little bit of speckle, but I didn't want to just knit
A plain sweater.
Just a plain sweater, whereas this will it'll work really well for it. So that's what I did. And what else was I going to say? I think that I'm going to change the bottom a little bit, because this sweater I think would be a little bit more delicate, and so I think I want to do like a hemmed edge here, and also do that on the sleeves as well, because I really like that style of sweater. Not that I don't like ribs. Obviously this one is has ribbing here, and it's got 2 inches of ribbing at the bottom as well, which I think that was only supposed to be 1 inch, but I wanted it a little bit longer because I've got a really long torso. So I think I might do a hemmed edge when I do this one.
Cool.
So
Stay tuned.
I don't know when this one is going on the needles, because I'm going to do Larch, and I really want to do out of the Lina magazine, the first issue that I did Winterly out of, the sweater. There's another one that was done in a DK weight, and it's a very simple cardigan called Lanes. And I have some fiber stash that I want to use for that. So
you're the blue, the TARDIS.
That blue, the TARDIS blue. Yep.
Yeah.
I think I might do that one next.
Nice.
After Large. I'm just cranking out the sweaters. Just enjoying the sweater knitting.
So good.
So
Sweaters are fun.
yeah. And I still want to do the spin so that I can do Georgetown too.
Yep.
Because that sweater is really lovely, and I really like that yarn that I was getting from that from the fiber I was spinning. So
Nice.
I might kind of get back on my wheel and at least start working on that.
Yep.
So. And that's that. Oh, but I'll show you guys this, because this is new in store. One of my acquisitions, but I'm also wearing it. I should have put it in what I'm wearing thread too. This is from Knitter's Pride, and this is a magnetic necklace, and you can see it has the cable needle, and I just put this, I'm not going to wear it around all day with a cable needle on it, but they're really cute. I'll pull the stitch markers off so you can see it. This is wood, and it has a magnet embedded inside of it, and actually the other side's a little bit different, so you could flip-flop it, which is kind of neat. This is the natural one. There is also a cherry red one. I was debating. I was having the hardest time deciding because the cherry red one is really pretty
cool.
too. And I was wearing a black shirt yesterday, and I was like, oh, it like really popped. But I was like, well, I can wear this a little bit more right now, but then I was like, I may end up with a cherry one. But so it comes with stitch markers. I'll pop those back on there.
I want to see you throw them at your necklace like you were earlier.
I know. I went whoosh to see if I could get any to stick. I got a couple to stick. So it comes with this really cute little pouch. You can kind of store everything in if you want to. But it comes with 3 cable needles. So it comes with, this is the kind that I use the most, the J-hook kind. But it also comes with the kind of bump out one and just a straight cable hook as well, or cable needle. And then it comes with the stitch markers. So they're all metal, and then they're coated so that they will stick. Well, the metal is the part that sticks, but they're kind of like powder coated so that they're nice and smooth. And I just dropped the cable needle. So they're kind of handy. So if you're, sitting around, and also you can put your darning needle too. Mm-hmm. A lot of times if I'm weaving in ends, I keep putting my darning needle down. I'm like, what did I just do with that? So you could stick it right to you.
I stick mine in my mouth and then it gets all wet.
I stick mine, I a lot of times will too. But these are really cool, and I think they're gonna be coming out with a bracelet that's similar to like the Coco Knits one. But the good news is, even if you already have one, the Coco Knits one, we do have these cable needles and the stitch markers and a couple different varieties and colors and sizes sold separately. So the necklace itself does come with some to kind of get you going, but we have these now separately. And I didn't bring them over, but we did get in the row counter rings. Nice. You can wear them on your thumb or your finger or whatever, and you push in and then you turn them. So it's like a regular row counter, like the ones that go on your knitting needle. Mm-hmm. But you can wear it, and they look kind of cool. They're just a dark stainless steel ring. And so we got in a little bit of odds and ends and goodies and
nice
tools, which are fun, and they're great little gifts and stocking stuffers. And so if you think there's somebody that might like those, we do have those in stock. So if you search Knitter's Pride, all of that fun stuff will come up. So
nice.
Yeah. So I have one other acquisition.
I have an acquisition too.
So this acquisition I didn't know about, so I didn't put it on the list, because Ange, for my birthday, look, she got me some Harry Potter themed Sucre miniatures stitch markers. So she got me the Happy Birthday Harry cake and a butter beer. Isn't that awesome? So sweet. Thanks, Ange.
You're welcome.
So cute. See, I can put it on my sweater because I don't have one on my sweater right now.
Why, yes, you can.
Perfect.
So I went into a long commentary last week about my fat squirrel bag and how I got cart jacked. But the puffy kitty one. But the one that I did order,
that's so cute,
arrived on Friday or Saturday. It's fast shipping, which was good because my Zweig sweater is big enough that it needed a new home. And I was actually, in this one is actually a sweater bag, so I was actually able to put all of the extra yarn in the bag with the sweater. So this is my new Halloween fat squirrel sweater bag, which I think could also, it does have like the flying like jack-o'-lantern and stuff, but I think you could use it year round, because it's kind of
little monstery
wild enough that that's, I don't know, it's such as a cool bag.
The backside has more,
and
that's cute.
Kitties with eyeballs in their bellies, and my younger one deemed it scary.
Scary bag.
It's scary, but I don't know, she's fine, don't worry about her. If she leaves my knitting alone because it's scary, that's fine with me.
That's probably a good thing.
That's fine with me.
I know. My new sweater is in mine that I showed last time.
This is such a great size for a sweater bag.
It is a nice size. And I have purple needles. Aren't they fun? These are the zings. I'm knitting on the zings.
We're like matchy. Mine are purple too, but they're a different shade of
Yeah,
purple.
mine are like plummy purple.
Mine-
The 10s are.
The 5s. US 5s.
I was using those for this sweater.
Yep.
Cool.
So,
What else we got?
we got a Rhinebeck bus.
We do, and we're about halfway to where we need
That's
to be.
amazing.
In order to actually be able to run it. So keep on coming, sending in your registrations if it's something you're interested in. It's going to be really, really fun again this year.
It was fun last year. I was on the bus. This year I won't be on the bus. I'll already be down there, so I won't be able to entertain people for the ride down and back. But I'll entertain you once you get to Rhinebeck.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. No, I will.
Well, you'll always be able to find us because we'll be at the Podcaster Meetup.
Yes.
So you can catch up with us there if you don't see us beforehand.
Otherwise, you'll find us arm wrestling in CC Wool's booth. Just kidding. I'm making such a big deal about that.
It's mine.
And we'll both go in and we'll grab totally different colored skeins and we'll be like, what did you get?
know.
Oh, I got this. Oh, what did you get? Oh, awesome.
We'll be like, oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah. It'll be fun.
It will be.
It's all fun.
Yeah.
And it's all fun. It's not like I need any more yarn.
I know. Me either.
Ridiculous amounts of yarn. Or that I have an entire yarn store at my disposal.
We got lots of yarn here.
Lots of yarn.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of yarn. So we have that.
Mm-hmm.
The retreat. I am still waiting on final numbers, or at least estimated final numbers from the caterer. So I'm gonna have to make a decision by next week if I haven't heard from them about just pulling the plug and going ahead with the number that I have in my mind that's gonna work.
Yep.
So I had hoped to already have the link live so people could purchase their retreat spots.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to shake that tree maybe later tonight or tomorrow and see if I can't get that. And it's possible that the link would go live before we podcast about it. So just, keep an eye out. I probably would make an announcement on Instagram once I make the link live.
Yeah.
So if you follow me on Instagram, just, if you see it, go over and take a gander.
Yeah.
So but I've been a little overscheduled for my day job. So I have not had a huge amount of time to focus on some of this other stuff. So, but we'll get it. We'll get it.
Yeah.
Seasons of Vermont box releases next Saturday.
Yeah, it is.
Next Saturday. Well, Kelly's gone because I chose wisely. I'm so smart sometimes. So
We have all of the pieces in now. We've got the stitch markers, we've got the wool wash,
nice.
we've got the bags, the yarn, and the Katrinkles tool too.
Yep, and the pattern. So
and the patterns. Mm-hmm.
That also I will try to get up this weekend with the listing of the pattern, so you can take a look at it if it's something you want.
Yep, they won't go. The numbers won't be in there, so you can't actually buy it
No.
until next Saturday.
We'll
But
have pictures up and we'll have all the information up.
Yeah.
So you can take a look. And it will go live at noon on the 15th.
Yep.
Noon Eastern Standard Time.
Yep, which is a Saturday.
Yep. And we got a couple knit-alongs that are wrapping. Well, one that's wrapping up. I can't even remember what it's called. Multicolor Summer Shawl Along.
That one wraps up next weekish.
Well, so I had it wrapping up on September 15th, but since we don't actually podcast till like the next week, till like the 20th, you're probably going to get till the 20th. So
Okay.
as we always say, if the finished object thread is not locked, please post your finished objects. It means the contest is still open. So we lock it as soon as we start doing prizes and stuff.
Yeah.
So you've got a couple more weeks to finish up those summer shawls.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Then we've got the Ancient Whips Cowl, which I just saw a sweater that somebody dusted off, one of our viewers and friends, a colorwork sweater. Did you see Jen's finished color work Fair Isle sweater.
I didn't see it done. No.
Oh, she got it done.
Did she get
with
it done?
buttons? It's amazing. I think it was like
I
12
saw it
years
in
old
progress.
or something.
Yeah.
It was
That's
so
cool.
We've had a lot of folks who have dusted off some very old projects
Yep.
and gotten them finished. So good job, guys.
I know.
Awesome. And then other projects have joined the Frogget thread when it's been deemed, that's just not working. So we give people the motivation to clear some needles and use the yarn for something else.
Nice.
Yeah. And then our baby along's still going on.
Baby
so
along.
24 months and less, lots of little baby things populating the finished object thread. My baby sweater and ancient whip is still not finished. I'm here to report. I did pick it up this weekend, ripped out the button bands, ripped out the collar because they were too tight.
Yeah.
Re-knit the collar with a stretchy bind off, which totally solved the problem. So the collar's fine.
Good.
Re-knit a button band and picked up less stitches, but am still getting the sucking in of the ends. So I ripped that out and then put it aside because I was like, I'm angry at you. I think I'm going to go up a needle size. That's the only thing I can think of at this point.
What, are you using the same size that the sweater was knit in?
It tells you to use
A smaller.
a smaller.
Yeah, and that's usually standard.
Yeah.
I wonder if your gauges changed that much since you actually knit the sweater.
I suppose it's possible. I don't know. Actually, and the other thing I did was the pattern tells you you're knitting, the button bands are knit in garter stitch. And so I thought, well, you know what? I think I'm going to do a rib and just see if I can't get it to, because maybe it's my garter stitch that's just sucking in. Nope, I knit and rib it to the same thing.
Yeah, I could see it doing a rib, doing it more almost, but
I don't know. So I'm at Gridlock till I can figure that out.
Oh boy.
Me and button bands. But yet I'm gonna cast on the throwback, which although it doesn't have button bands, it does have. It's like I think I'm just asking for trouble, but we'll see. So that's because I kind of want to get that done because the baby has been born. That's for. So I should finish it because the whole point of the ancient whips cow was to help finish stuff, and I haven't finished anything of my own ancient whips. A couple false starts, but
Well,
it happens.
It does.
So that's where I'm at. Super fun times. Maybe I'll have an FO next week.
There you go.
We'll see. Stay tuned. Upcoming cow, we've got Mitten Tree cow that we're going to do. We're going to start that October 1st. We're going to run it through the end of November. So this is a charity knit along, crochet along. So in conjunction with our local UPS store, we are collecting handmade mittens, hats, scarves for donations to the Mitten Tree. And we've talked about the details for this before. I'm going to allow whips, so it's a time for us to give back. And part of the reason why I was tossing my downstairs stash this weekend was I was looking in my odds and ends bin for things that I could use for this knit along.
Yep.
And I have a ton of yarn that's available. So, I mean, I'd almost be open for having like a donation bin here for if people want to participate with, and I can bring in some of my odds and ends and mark, this is worsted, this is DK, if people want to, if they don't have their own odds and ends stash.
Yep, I want to participate in
Yeah. So if that's something you get, particularly folks that are local to us would be interested in, just drop us a note in the comments for the YouTube for this episode. Yeah. And if I see enough people that are like, yeah, that would interest me, then I will pull that together and bring it in, and people can paw through it. And we just ask that really if you take something to do that you actually do it, and follow through. So because I got a lot of yarn that folks could use to make some hats, and And it's all superwash stuff. It's not, I've pulled out all of the non-superwash because you want to be mindful not everybody knows how to care for hand knits. And you don't want to have somebody accidentally throw something in the wash.
Yep.
And have it get shrunk. So,
Yep.
Or felted.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that's all I got. I think.
We got prizes.
Oh, we do have prizes. Oh, right.
We got prizes to give away. So for our 3,000 subscriber giveaway, we offered up 2 prizes, one for Instagram and one for YouTube, and they both had different entry requirements.
Mm-hmm.
And I drew for the Instagram one, and I'll remind you of what the prize was.
Yep.
So my mom had made some really cute bags for us, and these are great because you can sling them over your arm. They've got a little pocket in them. It's handy to put like a tape measure or something, scissors. And then one of the Must Love yarn pins, of course. I stuck one on there when I took pictures because
it was awesome.
And then a skein of the Araucania Huasco, which is a fingering weight yarn, and I've made some cowls and things in this before. It's really, really nice. It's super soft and squishy. It's 100% wool, and there's 454 yards on here, and this is some D-stash from me. And it's in this really pretty, it's almost looking purple on the screen, but it's more of like a sky blue.
Yeah, really pretty blue.
In a tonal. So that's the Instagram prize, and I will tell you who that winner is.
Woo-woo!
And so if we don't hear from you, I will send out messages, but I usually like to wait a week or so before I do.
People can hear on the podcast.
So let me go back to random number generator. There were 249 comments at the time I pulled it this morning. And 174 was the number that was picked. And that person, their name is knit_crochet25, and it's Christine Teffenhart. So Christine, either send me a private message or send us an email, kelly@mustloveyarn.com, with your information, your address, that kind of thing, and I will get this out to you. So congratulations, and thank you so much for entering to win and watching the podcast and all that goodness. So
exactly.
This is now yours.
Nice. And so we also were running a YouTube contest.
Mm-hmm.
And the prize for the YouTube contest is this lovely
stash from
yarn from Kelly and Round Mountain Fibers.
So she's a local dyer, and these 2 skeins. This one is a fun variegated when it's knit up, and this is a tonal, and it'll go really, really well with that.
Yep.
Another project bag, and of course one of our pins.
Yep. So the prompt over for this contest was we turned a question back around on all of you, is to tell us if somebody could gift you a skein of yarn, what would that be? And there were a lot.
There were some companies I had never heard of, which is cool.
Yeah, which is amazing. So there's I've added a few more to my list of like maybe at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of entries for La Bien-Aimée, which is great. Same for Legacy Fiber Arts. Lots of folks wanting Green Mountain Spinnery.
Yeah.
So that's a cool. Great one. For us, we had someone who wanted a retired base from Mad Tosh, which that's awesome, because that's one of those ones you're like, I don't know if we can ever get that again. So I had someone offer to, if my Zweig doesn't fit me, that she would take it, and I was like, yes. There was some pretty funny entries. Were being very clever, and I loved it. And you're right, guys, it's so hard to pick sometimes because there's so many different companies out there. So there's a couple. All right, so I have a couple folks that need to send me a message, because you know how I am with contests, right? So Irene Long, if you can send me a message on Ravelry, and Melanie Stallings, if the 2 of you can send me a message
This is not the prize winner.
No. 2 of you send me a message on Ravelry with a single pattern of your choice, and I am going to gift both of you patterns because literally you worked Meerkat into your response, and I thought it was hysterical. So thank you for the chuckles. I really appreciated it. So you too, ping me on Ravelry with a individual pattern of your choice, and I will gift that over to you.
That's so funny.
All right, but
Prize time now.
Without further ado, the prize winner, and I random number generated it, is Kirsten Spruill. Spruill? S-P-U-P... I can't even spell. S-P-R-U-I-L-L. Kirsten Spruill? Spruill?
Yeah.
Spruill. Congratulations.
So get in contact.
Yay!
Let us know your information. You can either send us emails at our Must Love Yarn accounts, which it's either Angela or Kelly at mustloveyarn.com, or you can reach out to us through social media and send us a message. And
don't post your address on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, don't do that.
Comments.
Yeah. Yeah, no, just send us a message privately one way or another, either through social media or through our email accounts.
Yep.
And Christine Tevenhart too for yours.
Kirsten and my two Meerkats.
Yep.
Ping me on Ravelry with your pattern choice, and I will shoot that over to you.
Nice.
So, that was awesome.
That's so funny.
Love it.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Love it so much. So yeah.
Cool. Well, we've got a lot of new yarn in store, and I've been slowly kind of putting that into. We've got a yarn, a new yarn collection on the website, so you can go there and check that out. It's right on the front page. I also added a sale section to the website because we do have some sale yarns that we are moving out.
Nice.
So if you click at the top, if you click the little shop thing, you can shop by a number of different things, whether it's weight of yarn or a lot of different options. There's a sale. There's a sale one now.
Nice.
So you can click on that, see what's on sale.
Awesome.
And that changes pretty constantly because we're always adding sale stuff.
The picks of the weeks will not be shown. Will not be in the sale.
They won't be in there because that's a special code that you guys enter. Because it's not technically a sale; it's just a coupon code for you.
Yep. So, and I think we'll be able to do an actual real podcast next week.
Before I head out.
Before you head out. Probably in 2 weeks we'll have to do the the Q&A quick because I'm not going to be available that Thursday.
All right.
So so we'll give us a couple weekends to sort out when we're going to film that Q&A.
Yeah.
So we're going to answer all your questions that for the other contest we ran a couple weeks ago.
Yep. Yeah, because they were fun questions. They're going to be fun to go through.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Something different.
Yeah. Awesome.
So
I think that's all I got for this week.
All right. That's all I'm all set. I think hopefully the sound worked. I really hope we have sound, or it's like 58 minutes of us just sitting here
with our mouths moving, and showing
moving,
things, and
some subtitles for the important stuff. So
that won't be fun.
No, not at all.
Awesome.
So fingers crossed the microphone worked.
Yeah. So thank you to all of our new subscribers. We've had a number of new subscribers join us recently. We hope you enjoy watching. And thank you again to all of our longtime viewers. I know a lot of you guys have been with us since the very, very beginning.
Very nitty-gritty beginning.
Yeah. And it was pretty rough. The first few episodes, woo! And we've had sound issues along the way and a lot of other things. And you guys have kind of, you just hung in there.
Kids and all fun.
Yeah, we keep trying to improve and get better every week that we do this, and
we are learning.
We are
as well.
It's a process. So, thanks again to everybody, and we hope you have a great weekend. It's supposed to be 60 degrees here this weekend.
I'm so excited
for a high.
So I'm so excited.
I know.
I have a bunch of hand knits to wash. I've been waiting for the humidity to go down so they'll dry.
There you go.
So
awesome.
Anyway, so we'll see you guys all next week.
Yes, you are.
Bye. Bye. Let there be sound. So it'll be, if the microphone's not working, this will be silent outtakes.
I was just going...
It's just, again, 10 minutes of pastry.
Oh my god, this is so good. Do you want a bite?
This is really good. No, I'm good.
Ange, you want a bite?
Hang on.
This is like heaven in a cheesecake.
Yum. With coconut, it's fabulous.
Paula had made
Thank
a
you.
coconut cake for the twins' birthday,
Mm-hmm.
and she had some left over. And she's like, "Do you want a piece?" I'm like, "It's perfect timing. Yesterday was my birthday." And she's like, "It was."
What's their birthday?
Their birthday was on Friday. It's the last day of the month.
That was a good choice, stopping in Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so. Oh,
No.
That's awesome.
It blocked out so well.
That's amazing. I love it.
Because everybody's like, "Who are you making that for, kid?"
You're like, no, it's for me.
And it did look small before I blocked
Yeah.
it, but
No, it looks nice now.
it blocked so well.
Mine, on the other hand, will fit me before I block it. We believe. So, that looks nice. I like it. Looks good. Good job, Kel.
Why, thank you.
So I tossed my downstairs stash this weekend. And so let's forget the 3 bins that are upstairs.
Oh, I gotta go get the prices.
Okay. I'll hold that thought
Okay,
and continue to eat my
You hold that thought.
coconut tart. So my downstairs stash, which is literally, I think, been stuff that I've just been buying at festivals and online for the last 2 or 3 years.
Uh-huh.
I filled, one of those under the bed ones
yeah.
that's on wheels
Yep.
that will fit under a queen size bed.
Mhm.
Filled one of those with yarn. And that doesn't count the 3 or 4 sweater quantities that I have of like worsted or the eco wool that's tucked in other places in the closet. So I was like, I cannot buy any more yarn until Rhinebeck. But literally, I'm not going to not buy yarn at Rhinebeck.
That's what I said, but I bought a sweater's quantity last night, so,
Well, but I found that sweater's quantity of worsted weight yarn. I'd gotten it to make Sambuca, like, a long time ago. And the main color is like a light heathered gray. And then I had like some purples, but I'm not super keen on the purples if I was going to do the throwback.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a lot of leftovers of wool stock from some other projects, and I actually have some of this Savage Heart that was for that hat up there, and I know it's a DK, but it's pretty puffy, and I think
You could definitely knit that as a worsted.
Yeah, I think I could knit it as a worsted. So I think I might, and I was going to pull skeins out to bring today to show on the podcast, but I kind of forgot this morning.
Yeah, well, you had to be in court, so.
Yeah, I had to drop the dog off first in the opposite direction, so I had kind of crazy stuff going on this morning. But I was thinking, because the main part of the sweater would be light gray, and then if I did like a medium gray, a dark gray, and then a red, because I have that red wool stock and the red. I was thinking
That'd
that might
be
be
pretty.
cool.
Yeah, I think that would be really pretty. Ooh, that was sweet.
It was just so good. The tartlet crust is, I can't break it with a fork. I'm gonna,
just have to-
wait,
oh.
there it goes.
There you go.
I couldn't get it on the edge. But I'm sure it's delicious too. So, So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Right now I'm debating whether I want to cast that sweater on. I need some instant gratification with something because the swag is taking so long.
You get all the stitches on your heel.
I have like 300, almost 300 stitches. That's ridiculous. Because it's a 2XL
Right.
on accident.
This one, I know I was getting so close with this sweater, but I really enjoyed it. The sleeves felt a little like a slog, but they actually went, I had them done because I had one day where I had just quite a bit of time and, just to knit a tube, and they were the decreases were really even, and so you really didn't have to pay all that attention, and I put, stitch markers down, so I didn't even have to be like, oh, how many decreases was that? I could just count the stitch markers.
Yeah.
So
That's amazing. The sleeves on Zwag are patterned as well. And that's not really the problem, like the cable 2 front, cable 2 back, like I've got that rhythm down. It's just, there's almost 300 stitches on the needles.
Yeah.
So, each round, even a stockinette round takes, I don't know, 15 minutes?
yeah.
Oh. It'll get there. I mean, for getting it done by Rhinebeck.
Oh.
Dang it. I just made a giant mess. I just dropped my tart on my skirt. Don't mind me, I'm a mom. And on the floor, and I'm still probably going to eat it because also see...
It's too good not to, right?
It's too good, but also see prior comment that I'm a mom. I'm going to clean that up. We don't need to be making a mess. But it looks like there's already something on the floor.
Yeah, I'll tell you about that later.
Oh, okay.
Our last prize winner hasn't gotten in touch with us yet.